All right, today we're going to dive into two really deep ideas from Hindu philosophy, Dharma and karma. You've probably heard these words before, but they're so much more than buzzwords. They're this incredible framework for understanding our actions, our duties, really our whole place in the world. And they kick things off by tackling one of the biggest questions we could possibly ask. We all think about this, right? Are we actually in the driver's seat of our own lives? Or are we just passengers on a ride that's already been mapped out? It's a huge human puzzle, and honestly, it can be pretty mind-bending. But what if the answer isn't a simple yes or no? What if it's way more interesting than that? Well, ancient Hindu philosophy gives us this amazing way to look at the whole dilemma, and it all comes down to two principles that work together in a kind of perfect harmony. And those two principles are our two pillars for today, karma and dharma. These are the twin concepts that really help define the relationship between what we do and where we end up. So let's break them down.
Okay, so first up is karma. And yeah, I know we hear this word thrown around all the time, right? Instant karma. But let's get to the real heart of it. At its core, karma is this universal law of cause and effect. Think about it like this. Every single thing you do, big or small, is like planting a seed. And eventually, all those seeds you've planted, well, that's what grows into the garden of your future.
And then we have dharma. Now, if karma is the big universal law, dharma is way more personal. It's your unique purpose. It's your moral compass, your righteous path. It's that inner voice that guides you toward what feels right, what's aligned with a good life. It's all about finding the right thing for you to do. So let's see how they click together. Dharma is the guide for the action. It's the should. But karma is the actual result of that action. It's the what happens next. You could say dharma is the map you're given, but karma is the actual path you carve out by walking it. One tells you where to go, the other is the consequence of where you actually step. This really delicate dance between our duty and what comes of it is captured so perfectly in a core teaching from one of the most important Hindu texts, the Bhagavad Gita. And it presents this paradox, a paradox of power that is, believe it or not, incredibly freeing once you get it. This one single idea brings everything we've been talking about, our actions, our duty, our destiny, into this incredibly sharp focus. It's a real game changer. Ready for it? Here it is. You have the right to your actions, but not to the fruits of your actions. Just let that sit for a second. It sounds like a total contradiction, doesn't it? How can you have the right to do something, but not to what comes from it? But I promise you, hidden inside that paradox is this incredible key to freedom. So what on earth does that actually mean for us in our day-to-day lives? How can we take this ancient piece of wisdom and, actually use it? Let's unpack this thing piece by piece. Okay, part one. This part is all about empowerment. It's saying that your choices, your effort, your dedication to your duty, your dharma, that's your turf. It's 100% yours. You completely own your actions. That is the one thing that is truly in your control. And then comes the big twist. The fruits of those actions, the results, the success, the rewards, even the praise, that stuff is not in your control. The Gita is basically telling us we have no claim to any of it because the outcome is tangled up in a million other things happening in the universe that we have absolutely no say over. So here's the massive mental shift. When we really get this, our focus moves away from chasing some specific outcome and lands squarely on the quality of the action itself. Think about a musician playing a piece of music. Their dharma is to pour everything they have into the performance. Whether the audience applauds or a critic loves it, those are the fruits, and they're out of the musician's hands. And that is where we find real freedom. By letting go of the outcome, we free ourselves from all that anxiety about failure or disappointment. We can finally just focus on the only thing that was ever ours to begin with, our effort. And that leads us to a final, pretty powerful question to leave you with. Take a moment and really consider this. If you knew for an absolute fact that the outcome was never guaranteed, what would you still choose to do? What action is so important, so true to your path, that you would do it simply for the sake of doing it? The answer to that question? Well, that's your dharma.